Let's say I'm the DM. If I've got an interesting story that I want to tell, is it fine for me if at the peak, the big important part, I very intentionally have someone's character die and don't discuss it with them first? If it's almost a locked in, this character is gonna die in
That's
this fight.
horrible. That's really horrible. Okay.
But what if it's really thematically good, like really relevant, and it's like a huge arc.
Everyone in the comments, tell him this is a really bad idea, please, because I'm in the camp of like that is absolutely a horrible idea. Not telling the player the DM is planning on murdering your character specifically for a narrative plot point.
So you would definitely say it's a very bad thing to do.
We have the whole violation of choices of the player. You have removed the option of this is really important. The player, yes,
I've set him off.
The player's character can die. That's perfectly reasonable. But it's ideally done because the player decided to get in a fist fight with Tiamat.
Yeah, so you're saying if it's the player's fault, it's fine that they die. But if it's the DM's fault, it's not.
If the player goes and decides to go to a bridge that is 1,000 feet off the ground,
and they just want to go and jump the line, if you will,
jump off the bridge into a chasm full of mimics, that is perfectly allowable for the player. But for the DM to magically instantaneously teleport that player's character as that player's character is sleeping in bed to that chasm and launch them into a pit is absolutely not okay. It's okay if the DM sets up the chasm. It's okay if the DM points at the chasm.
Okay, let me set a different scene for you. You've got this character that's a paladin. This paladin's been working his whole life to kind of build up his community. He's built up his chapel into more of a cathedral.
Bad idea.
He's really started to make himself a name. Now he works up to he's fighting for his king, right? And he starts to go past there, and he really is to a point where he is just fighting for his god. And then he wants to become some kind of big, overarching champion of the legion of his god, if you will, right?
We could have worked in
holy knight.
We could have worked in the paladin of the Lady of the Lake,
right? So you've got this guy building up to this absolute holy epitome of greatness, right? Mm-hmm. So he goes and he's finally getting up to, with the entire group of his allies and all that, to really ascend to this higher being form. And then his god himself takes him out right then and there for his greed, for his lust for power, for going against everything he was originally supposed to stand for. His god smites him down and kills him.
So we're actually in a situation where the player actually is a problem player and has been tempted by the powers of chaos
to harness
powers.
Okay.
For his own gain. And the DM has decided to punish him for that.
Yeah, the DM just kills the player. The character.
Not the player.
The character.
First and foremost, that player...
So you're pinning this on the player right now, and you're saying it's fine.
First and foremost, the DM should talk to the player about the deviation in the path and how it relates to the deity.
Okay, well, what if you just did it? What if you let them go?
I know we've talked about not talking to players about their problems.
Okay.
But seriously, that was a joke in that video. To end up talking to the player about their deviation from their path, and that
what
is the level of their god?
Wait, what if their god is leading them on to see if they'll fall from grace? So you can't spoil it.
So
it would ruin the bit, if you will.
So, in other words, the DM has the god who is testing his follower with temptation.
Yes.
And then I guess it's the situation where if the player goes along with that, it is a decision on the player's part.
And then it would kill their character without talking to him about it first outright.
You know, honestly, in that situation, I would still talk to the player and tell him, hey...
You would ruin the storyline plot for where this adventure leads for that player.
Okay, I would say that to the player, if you choose to go down this path,
there will be things that will occur that you cannot reverse.
Yeah, you will cross a line that will change your character forever.
Okay. And then would you feel just fine killing the character?
And even then, that is a touchy territory because some players might get really upset where you
they'd be fucking pissed, yeah.
Dangle power in front of them and then kill them for it. Maybe if you leave like little clues that this is a possibility. Or like in a...
They find a holy symbol of their god. It has like little etchings into it showing them being murdered by like the holy symbol.
It's that or say a prophecy. That's somewhat...
No, that's probably too on the nose though.
It's a matter of choice of words, really.
I feel like I'd flood them with like 30 prophecies at that point. That way they don't know what to believe.
That might be something.
And then that can just get, like, tucked away into the prophecy list.
Yeah. It might be a situation where there's, like, some obtuse wording in the prophecy itself.
Then I'll have another prophecy that talks of a great warrior that would rise to be the champion of his god.
Yeah.
That way he can have conflicting prophecies. One's the other, like, the devil on the shoulder telling him to do it.
See, the important part is that the player and the character should have some kind of warning, or you could go with the old D&D style of having it not be the actual god itself that's giving the character power.
Okay.
But actually a demon or a devil.
Yes.
And in that case, that player might be tied to a convent, but there'll be clues at that location.
Yeah.
Like there's something...
Of what's going to occur.
Yeah, something wrong. Like people disappearing periodically. And then you kind of have to, like... There is a way to do this. And the way to do this is to leave little clues in there that could result in the player saving their character or the character saving themselves. But if the character continues down the path, they get sacrificed is to Orcus or something like that.
For reference, I think that I would absolutely kill a player or character, yes. I know we keep saying player. For narrative reasons, I think I would talk to them first and be very, very vague. But like before we even get to the point of their story where anything could potentially ever happen, I would ask outright, "Hey, if I just kill your character and it's relevant to your story, are you good with it?"
And then I guess
as a player, would you say yeah?
If they say yes, then it's okay.
I'd say yeah. Go for it. Okay, can I?
The moment they say they're okay with it being if it's relevant to their story or something like that, that's perfectly fine.
So I'm gonna upend this and point out a really interesting fact with this all. Let's say prior to the consent of the player there, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you, so assume the player has no idea their character is going to die, right? So inherently you're saying that there's something wrong with having your narrative story just outright kill the character, right?
Yeah,
So,
just come out of nowhere and your character automatically dies. It's just planned by the DM to.
So let's say you plan a deadly encounter and you aren't planning inherently for any one character to die, but you have built the encounter difficult enough that it is very likely someone could go down, and depending on the role, someone could die, right? So now if a character dies in that situation,
It's just chance.
okay, then they just die.
Chance is okay.
So
just random chances.
So
okay.
if I have a as a DM,
if I have a fine, and if the player chooses, it's okay.
If I as a DM
bad decisions, it's okay.
If I as a DM have a really big planned story and want
the important part is not to force it.
If I want to tell something cool and make a big scene out of killing the player, that's wrong. But if kill the character. If I, as a DM, have a little whoopsie doodle and I planned a ring encounter that was a little difficult and they die, then that's fine. It was just, oh fuck, Jim
it's
just
random
died.
Chance, yes.
That's fine. But if I
sometimes the barbarian gets stuck between eight stone golems once it gets crushed.
So our little whoopsies are okay. For murdering someone's character, it's just like, oof, that happens. Sorry, bud.
It's chance. The game has dice in it.
I didn't know that the adult red dragon would kill the level 1 party. I didn't know.
Did the red dragon explicitly go out to kill them, or...
You started outside of a castle. You are inside of the castle walls that are locked. The doorway of the inner area is there in front of you, unlocked. So your only path forward is go around the castle where you're still locked into your inner walls, and then there's the doorway into the inner sanctum that locks behind you with a dragon ready to kill you.
If you're railroading players, it's not good. If the players walk into that room, and no matter what, that dragon breathes its breath attack right on them, and then comes in and just on them, just wipes them out, that's not good.
What if they're just going and
But if the dragon has...
They're leaving town for their adventure, and they make their way out of town, and there's a big mountain, and they chose to go left around it instead of right, and they didn't ask Bob Billiards in the tavern. They didn't ask him about hey, is there any dragons around here? And if so, what side of the mountain do they veer towards? And they've chose left without talking to the random Joe Schmo. So now they've picked the path, the random chance path, where the dragon is flying up above and then burns them alive.
I say that's probably too of an extreme aim of a situation. Maybe if the dragon came down...
What about Chimera?
Let's keep with the dragon.
Okay.
If the dragon pops over and says, "Why are you in my territory?" and it starts into a conversation and the players can talk themselves out of it, then it's okay. But if it's
we're just traveling through.
But if it's literally just the dragon deciding, "Hey, screw you," and all you die, that's not okay.
What if you give him a chance in the conversation, but not like a good chance?
You're boundary testing.
I am boundary testing.
There should be a chance for the players to see the danger.
They see the dragon.
And then move around on the problem.
What if they just failed to navigate it properly because it was a little on the hard side?
You make it too hard, you give them multiple different ways to get around it.
What if I have the players walking through a hallway, and in the center of the hallway, there's a big red button, and it says, "Do not press on it." and if they press it all along the corridor in 100 feet one way and 100 feet in the other, like a fucked up Mario level, the roof just slowly goes down, crushing, and will kill them all if they press the button. Is this trap acceptable?
No, honestly, this is acceptable
This
because they chose to push the button.
I would also veer towards that's fine, and it would be really
The
fucked
important
up.
the important thing is that the players should have a choice first and foremost, and they should have a means of thinking through the situation.
Well, it said don't push the button,
Yeah,
so I guess we shouldn't push the
gave
button.
them the warning. They pushed the button. The ceiling fell on them, and they all died. That is perfectly reasonable.
It was on them because they
Yes.
pushed the button. They chose for it.
Because you gave them a warning, and then there's a consequence for the warning.
There was a consequence. All right. That's the majority of what I got in killing characters. I don't care if I tend to prefer not to kill characters. I'm not going to build all of my encounters.
I don't like killing characters either.
But I build my encounters in a way where, on average, not all of my encounters are set up in a way where they could probably knock someone out. I would say like 50% of my encounters are designed in a way where someone's going to probably get knocked down, and maybe like 10% overall is, these things, maybe close to 20%, these things could outright kill a player.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, any encounter, if you play it really bad or roll really bad, could kill a player. So, like, there's a lot of areas of gray to that graph there, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I like my encounters to be a bit of a mix.
Yeah.
But then I also really like having some really brutal encounters. But there's usually always some way to get around them.
Yeah.
Either talking to the enemy or using a bit of terrain to get height on the opponent, and so they can't easily target a large portion of the party.
Yeah.
Or there's a long lead up to it, like the owlbear trying to dig through a door to get to the party.
Yeah.
Obviously, you open the door, you check the door, opened it, saw the owlbear in there, closed it quickly. The owlbear spun around and tried to rip through the door. You guys now have the option of attacking the owlbear through the door, or escaping into another room and closing the door behind you.
Yeah.
Or opening the door or blowing the door away and fighting the owlbear outright.
Yeah. But yeah, I've got no issue killing a character.
Mm-hmm.
If it happens, it happens. I generally don't try and set any one character up in a main character style way where should they die, it ruins the entire party's purpose.
I agree.
I tend to have the entire party should be united enough that if even 3 of their characters die, they are generally good to continue the mission.
Yeah, I generally tend to not emphasize a lot of stuff in backstories. Is it mostly just add it in as like flavor things.
I tend to
Which honestly some players don't like because it's not like it's not like, oh, you're on a major quest to discover who that mysterious druid was. It's like, oh, you just happen to run into druids and they're like, oh yeah, we've heard of him before.
Yeah.
He roams around or stuff like that.
I don't know. I tend to use a bit of character backstory here and there, but mostly it's to try and tie the character into the overarching story, I suppose. If I'm struggling with one in particular, I need to get them more invested, I'll peer more into the backstory. You really can't draw on that stuff. Alright, that's all I got there. Before I continue on, let's ask the additional question here. What's your thoughts on killing players?
No.
No?
But there
Okay.
are some times when I've come across a player that kind of tempts me.
Thank you for watching. And John and
Hi,
Jason.
Fabulous Frank.
John and Jason with Tabletop Wisdom.
Yep.
You guys have a wonderful day.
And a magnificent month.
Thank you.